Hello, hello, hello. Happy Wednesday. I hope you are having a fabulous day. Today we're going to chat about pricing. I went into detail on this in my Instagram stories, but I was like, we need to make this part of this series that I've been doing for the past couple days where I'm really just sharing you the shifts that I have made inside of my business that have made the biggest difference for me to have sustainable income. And when you have sustainable income, you have a regulated nervous system. And when you have that regulated nervous system, you're really able to lay the foundation for your future. Instead of feeling like you have to rush through everything, you're really able to look at like what the bigger picture is. What do you want to create? And then being able to take the steps to lay like a solid brick foundation to get there, instead of feeling like, oh my God, I just need to make a sale. I just need to make some sort of money. And so then you're like running from this really dysregulated place where you're like trying all of these things and it feels super frustrating and nothing is working and nothing is sticking. And I know this because I did that for a really long time until I realized that if I wanted at some point in my business to have sustainability, if I wanted to create a massive impact, if I wanted to create a business that brought in the amount of income that I wanted to bring in, I really had to focus on laying that foundation. And one of the things that I shifted at the end of last year was my pricing. And I want to talk about this because so often we will hear people say, well, you just need to lower your prices and more people will sign up. And that's not fucking true at all. Or you need to raise your prices because you need to charge your worth and only work with people who can pay you this amount of money. And while yeah, that could be true, but also that's probably going to leave you frustrated, especially if you're not super clear on what it is that you do, if you don't have any confidence in your coaching, if you don't have all of the things laid out, right? And for me, what was super important and what I saw as a issue inside of the coaching industry was that there are these lower level programs that everybody tends to get into and go through, and it helps them maybe a little bit, but it doesn't really get them to where they want to go. Or there are these higher level programs that are really not accessible and only certain people can afford to jump into those, but there's nowhere in between for people. And so when I saw that problem, I knew that I had the solution to this. So rewind a little bit. For the past couple years since I have been in coaching, I have either had really high ticket offers or really low ticket offers. And they both have made me feel certain ways. So when I had the lower ticket offers, maybe I have a few more people join, but I don't have a huge audience, so I didn't necessarily have like hundreds of people coming in. If you have a huge audience where you have a lot of trust built and you have a lot of people in that audience who are willing to invest in themselves with you, having a lower ticket product and offer is not an issue, right? Like I would always run this lower end membership where I absolutely love the membership, but I felt like I was putting in so much work into this membership and I wasn't getting paid in return. And it was so frustrating. And every month when I had to come up with new content, I just was not in a really good space. So I actually ended up closing that membership because I was doing a disservice to the people inside of the membership because of the way that I was showing up. And then also it was just creating all of this frustration and it was like a big energy leak. So lowering your prices isn't always the answer. And, knowing where your audience at is really the answer when it comes to pricing. If you have a huge audience that really trusts you, coming out with a $25 offer where 100 people sign up or more, that's going to be amazing. But that also comes with time. That also comes with building a community. It comes with building an audience. And maybe that's not something you should do at the very beginning. Okay. I feel like I'm talking about that a lot, but let's move on to the higher end coaching. So what I would find when I would offer a higher ticket item, I can think of a mastermind that I launched. I think it was called Launched. I don't remember which year I launched it, 2021 possibly. And it was a $7,000 mastermind, and I did have one person sign up, but nobody else signed up. And that, again, was very frustrating because I didn't want to create all of the modules and all of the content and all of things. I just ended up doing one-on-one coaching with the client, which was great and it worked out. But that wasn't the vision that I had for the offer. So last year where I had kind of my like reigniting momentum. If you have heard me talk about like I was ready to close the doors to my business in September, but instead I decided just to reignite the momentum in my business. And so when I saw this issue of, okay, we have lower level pricing for some programs in the industry, and then we have really high touch, high investment opportunities for people, but there was nowhere for the in-between people, right? The people who have already been through the courses, they've learned the things, but there was nowhere for the in-between. So what I did was I met my pricing in the middle. I lowered my higher ticket pricing. I lowered that, and then I also upped my pricing that was super low. I made it to a point that I felt good with, where I knew that if I received this amount of money, that I would have a more regulated nervous system going into different periods and different times of my business. And then also, sorry, I just totally lost my train of thought while I was talking, but also it made it accessible to people. So I knew that I wanted to make high touch coaching accessible to more people, to the people who are ready to get out of the group coaching or the courses or that sort of thing, but wanting a more of a mastermind style program. And so that's why I created the Road to 3K. So what I did was I lowered these prices, I raised these prices, and I met my pricing in the middle. And then the next thing that I did was I extended the payment plans. So like for instance, the Road to 3K Mastermind is a 6-month mastermind, but you can get a 12-month payment plan when it comes to that. And I know people are going to have their opinions on that, but again, I wanted to make this accessible, and also I wanted to be able for me, so it made it accessible for the people that I wanted to work with, and then it also allowed me to look out 12 months and say, okay, this is the reoccurring revenue that I have for the next 12 months, which released a lot of pressure from me and allowed me to start doing back end things. So I am a person who just promotes and then I create the thing. So I don't really, like, I'm not the organized person. I just like to go. Like I'm a manager and I'm like, let's get shit done. Let's do this. I have an idea. Let's implement it. And not very often do I do the back end things. I usually do them as I need to do them. And so being able to regulate my income and know what I have coming in for the next 12 months allowed me to really take a step back and start working on those back end things that I wasn't working on before. So pricing is going to look different for every single person. And if you are, just lowering your prices, thinking more people are going to come in, I can guarantee you that that is just going to make you feel frustrated. And also on the flip side, if you are going from really low level pricing and you're raising them way up here, you're not going to feel aligned with that either. We need to find that medium ground for you as far as pricing and payment plans go, so that you feel good about the work that you're putting into the container and that you are really connecting with the people that you want to connect with. Now, if you are only wanting to work with clients who can pay you higher pricing, then that's great. Like I found my little niche in the industry where I want to work with clients who are at the mid-level, who are like, all right, I'm ready to make some consistent income months, and I already kind of have my knowledge here. I'm an expert in what I do, but I want to bring it online and I really want to make an impact. And so I found that area for me. Now that might look different for you. So you might be somebody who needs to raise their prices, or you might be somebody who needs to lower your prices, or you might be somebody who was like me who needs to level out your pricing and meet that in the middle, and then work on raising your prices as you grow more brand awareness. So pricing is definitely individualized, just like strategy is individualized. This is something that we are going to cover inside of the Road to 3K, but I can't just come on here and give you advice and be like, okay, you need to lower your prices or you need to raise your prices. I need to know what's going on with your business. I need to know what your audience looks like. I need to know like what your conversion rate looks like. I need to know what your brand awareness is. Like all of those things come into play when you are working on pricing. And also like figuring out, I think this is one of the most important things to figure out is like, what do you know what your hourly rate is? Do you know, like, you might have this income goal, but do you know what that breaks down to? And do you know what you need to be charging for your programs in order for you to hit that amount of money? this is something that we go over inside of the Road to 3K. We figure that out. So we figure out how you can be making money as you are building the foundation for a solid business, because we are in business to make money. Yes, we are in business to make an impact, but we are also in business to make money. And if we can have some regulated income as we grow our business, it is an even better process when you go through that. So my phone is about to die. I've got to go. I hope that you have a fabulous rest of your day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.